morning, good afternoon, or good evening. Hi, I'm Lisa Ackberry, your hair doctor, and I'm always super excited because I'm going to be continuing my book. And you know, guys, we're almost done. Look, we just have a little bit left to go. And we're going to get to your questions first, and then we're going to go to the book. So let's see. My concern is looking matronly. I have been transitioning quite successfully. I don't think I looked that way, but okay, we'll continue. Successful lately because of your videos. Well, I'm so happy that they've helped you. And I have the book Beautiful Hair at Any Age. Great. And that's a great book to help you with understanding about hair loss and how our hair ages and how our hair starts to look old and break and thin out, that kind of thing. The texture of my hair causes it to mat and lock easily. So I do not do twists because of the loose curl and soft texture. By morning, it has already started to lock. Interesting. I had bad experiences with braid shops. I would prefer to stay out of those places from now on because of the techniques they use are too damaging and the results I get. I know color my gray. Okay. First, I can tell you why your hair is matting and webbing and locking and all those things is happening. Your hair is doing that because of the damage to the cuticle. I thought you were going to say you wore braids for a while, because usually when you wear braids, even though they're wonderful low maintenance styles, and some people use them as what they call protective styles, they're great for that. But the problem with wearing those types of styles, the quality of the hair is not at a good state of health, or there's poor quality hair. And so what happens when you take them down, you have this cuticle that's really raised, and the hair is very porous and weak, those types of things. You'll get length sometimes, and sometimes you don't. And then the technique, yes, it depends. If the technique is poor, whether it's traction or whether what they do to get down the braid neat, and sometimes the hair is shaved and cut and glued, and it's all kinds of things to make it hold and make the braid look neat. So, you know, you just need to get on a good regimen, deep conditioning, and you should be fine. I would recommend you have my book. I don't know if you have any of my product, but I would definitely recommend that you think about getting some of my programs. There's a program of our natural hair program. I think you should definitely start with that if you've already transitioned, or you see you have been transitioning. Okay, well, I think you should get our transition program. And there's two. There's one for scalp itch and transition, and then there's one for, and they're wonderful. I put a lot of attention to detail as far as the new growth and that whole different hair, new growth and relaxed hair. So that's a pretty good one. So there's one for scalp problems, and then one that's just to help you with the transition. It has some very good deep conditioning steps in there. Not doing an advertisement here, but I just wanted to let you know. This next one says, thank you for addressing my concern. However, my issue is due to distractions from family and house tasks. I may shampoo at 8 a.m. but won't get to apply conditioner until 9:30 a.m. Then it may be several hours after I rinse my conditioner that I apply my leave-in. I can't seem to carve out a block of time to move through the whole process without interruptions. I don't want to do the quick fix since I sit under the dryer and I always do my hair in sections. Please help. Is this potentially damaging? Not at all. This is not damaging, and I will not begin to try to speak into your schedule and what you have time to do. Bless your heart. I will be praying for you. I really will, because you really want that time for yourself. But it's not hurting if you're going to, if you shampoo at 8, apply the conditioner. No. Let me tell you, if you shampoo at 8, just put the conditioner on. Put a plastic cap on. That would be much better, and leaving it on all of that whole time. So since you've got it shampooed, what are you doing? Just letting the hair just be wet and, excuse me, whew, bless me. Ow. Sorry guys, that is so rude. But anyways, you want to make sure that you don't just put the shampoo on, rinse it off, and then the hair dries up. No, go on and put the conditioner on. You may not get it on the dry until later, but yeah, just put the conditioner on. You shampooed, you rinse the shampoo off, you just blot, put your conditioner on, put it back, plastic cap on, then go about your business. You can put a cute hat on or tie it up. No one will ever know what's under it, and your body heat will begin to get the conditioner will activate because of the body heat. So it'll begin to process and activate, and it'll be wonderful. And then you can sit on the dry once you get that time, like that 9:30 time. Okay. All right. It said you are never too old. Except I don't know what. I must have said something. Someone said you're never too old. I enjoy watching all of your videos. When do you think a woman is too old to grow natural? Oh, someone's saying that. Answering the question. Okay. Never. I agree with Queen that you're never too old to grow natural. You never. You know, I am not a baby anymore, but you know, you're never too old. I think it's a great thing. I think that's your hair, and I think God made your hair, and He makes no mistakes. So anytime you're choosing, because it's always a choice to go back or to relax or to not relax. So no, you're never too old. Your videos are such a blessing. Send your videos. Okay, your videos. I never get enough of you answering questions. I just keep learning more. Great, praise the Lord, because this is why I'm doing it. I'm doing it so that you can answer the questions. And you did like the asymmetric look. Yeah, I kind of like that too. But I'm gonna have to cut it if I'm gonna keep it because it springs up and down. Let me try some techniques though, and just, you know, do a twist and hang, and then do a twist and tuck on this side, and then I could do that. That'll be pretty cool. Yay. Alright, so let's see. Excuse me. I may have to sneeze again. I don't know what's up. Okay. Ooh. Sorry guys, I'm so glad y'all are not here around me so you can, well, you are here, but you know. Ooh. I don't know. It happens sometimes in the morning and then it goes away. Hi. And it says your videos are blessing. Again, there you go, playing with your hair. I know. I got a little carried away playing with my hair last time. I'm reading the questions, so if you're not in front of the questions, you're not in the comments, you're probably thinking, what is she saying over there? Yeah, last time I was playing a lot with my hair, and I just love that because I love my hair, and I want you to love your hair, and I want you to see how easy it is to reach up there and just kind of, you know, say, hey, spring back. Okay. It says, thank you so much for the information about hair coloring. You're truly a blessing for all women of color. Thank you so much for tuning in. I really do love you guys for that. God bless you, Lisa. Okay. All right. Someone says, God bless you. All right. Let's go to our book. Our book. All right. I'm through with the nose thing, guys. I apologize. Just blow it, why don't you? Okay. I may have to do that, which means I will have to pause. But maybe not. Let's get a piece of it. Let's see if I can. Excuse me. Sorry. You know, we really are family now. I put a tissue to my nose. I sneezed on y'all twice. So that is just really, really bad. Okay. And I don't have a cold. Alright, let's just pray, Lord, remove that. Dry this up in Jesus' name. Okay. I'll be fine from now on. This is, okay, let's talk. We're going to talk about the permanent change. We know we're talking about relaxer. This is like our part 2 of relaxer, the journey from kinky to straight. Relax your hair or not. Ask the hair doctor. Because, you know, as I said before, relaxers, that's a choice. You just choose to straighten your hair permanently, but you got to be responsible. So I want to talk about that permanent change. Relaxer is a permanent change. Hair color when you you deposit color pigments into the cortex or remove them from the cortex. That's a permanent change, and that happens within that cortical fiber. Therefore, proper analyzation. Do not, absolutely do not get a relaxer. Those of you, and like I said, let your friends tune in. It's the last wipe. Let your friends tune in. Do not get a relaxer if you haven't had someone to analyze it. And you really need to look at your strands. Find a trichologist if you can. That would be wonderful. But unfortunately, we don't have, and maybe years later you'll look at this tape and you'll see, well, yeah, we now have plenty around, but they're just few and far between, really. And so you have to do your research. But really, you want to check for porosity. You want to check for elasticity. You want to really check the scalp to make sure the epidermis is not worn and thin, so there won't be any sensitivities. You want to really be sure the cortical fibers are not exposed, because there will be problems if you do. And once you analyze it, you still need to pre-treat the hair. You want to really pre-treat the hair, so especially if you're getting a relax or retouch, so you can see the line of difference. If you're not getting a line or demarcation clearly, so your technician or stylist can stay on that line of difference. You also want to do a pre-treat so that you can read the shaft, your stylist. And this is not, you shouldn't do your relaxers. You definitely shouldn't. You should have a professional experience with applying relaxers to do your relaxers. Okay, so you want to check to have that done as well. You want to have that professional that's experienced. And you want to do the pre-treatment because you want to make sure that you can read the hair. You know what hair is. When you pre-treat the hair, you're spraying on leave-in conditioner. And I like to use one called Hair Vitamin, which is my conditioner. But you want to use a conditioner that's a little wet on the hair, and you want to sit under a cool dryer. And what happens, everything, it really tries to balance the hair. And I've got an itch on my nose now. Okay, just everything's going to happen, huh? No. You really want to try to balance the hair. So you really want to make sure that when you put the leave-in conditioner on and you let the cool dryer get it, what it's going to do is it's going to get the cuticles to tighten up around as much as possible around the cortex. And it's also going to let you see the difference between the hair that's slightly kinky, extreme kinky, because sometimes we have variations in our hair type, and so it's real important. Also, the texture. It really helps you to read your texture to see if you have more hair strands that are coarse and hair strands that are fine or medium, because those have to be processed differently. Okay, the pre-treatment is important. Also, the application. Application is major important, because when the relaxer is applied, you need to make sure that if it's a retouch, the person stays on new growth. You need to make sure they do not relax your hairline first. The reason why you think your hairline may need to be relaxed first is because that hair is always kept really moist. So it's like when you wash your face, or if you're cleaning your neck, your hairline is always kept moist. And what happens, it frizzes a lot. So sometimes you're trying to relax frizz, and then it's dehydrated, and so it's going to, because around the hairline so much friction and so much exposure to whatever happens to your face and ears and neck, then what happens, it's always really porous and dehydrated. So you have to be very careful to not relax that hair first. And the strands are smaller. The strands are smaller, there are less of them. You just don't need, and usually the degree of kinkiness is not as great. So it's really important to watch that. Also, then after your application, you're rinsing. Most people have these neutralizing shampoos, but really you're supposed to rinse. You rinse to neutralize. The relaxer has a pH around, if you get it's best to have your stylist use a relaxer with a pH around 10.5. But a relaxer generally will have a pH of 10.5 or pH between 10.5 and 11.5. So it's really alkaline. And so what happens is sometimes you can go higher, which is horrible because it starts to begin to melt down the hair almost on contact. It's just too strong for the hair shaft and for the epidermis, your scalp. And so a relaxer, once the relaxer is, if you start rinsing and you don't have what we call the all clear, then you're going to end up with your relaxer leaving traces or microscopic traces of relaxer on the hair, and then it'll continue to process. So you really get your neutralizing with your water, because water has a pH of about 7. So you get your neutralizing with your water. So it's very important. I just waved across the video. Somebody walks in past my office. Okay, you get your neutralizing with the water. So the water itself is going to bring the hair to a more neutral state. And what you want to make sure is that your stylist gets what she calls the all clear. So you can look up and say, hey, did you get the all clear? And you may just want to show her my book, or you may want to speak to her about some of the things, or just send her this video, because the relaxer itself, if you don't get the all clear, and what that means, you have nothing but clear bubbles running after you relax the hair, after you rinse the hair. If you don't have just clear bubbles running, then you're gonna leave, or she's gonna leave traces, microscopic traces of relaxer on the hair shaft. And what's gonna happen is gonna continue to work at a very slow pace, resulting or manifesting in very dry, brittle hair, eventually resulting in hair that's breaks. Okay, and then we need to make sure you sit up, change the towel, clean the neck rest. That's after you've rinsed, before you've shampooed. Very, very important, because you can leave microscopic traces of relaxer on the neck rest. And if you do that, what's going to happen? You're going to end up with that relaxer causing that hair to break in the neck area. And we see that a lot. Shampooing. Shampooing is important. The pH of the shampoo is important. You want to look at 4.5 to 5.5 because you want to realign the hair back to its natural pH. You want to make sure your professional understands that. And then conditioning is important. Deep conditioning. There's a very traumatic experience that has just occurred. So you want to balance that protein and moisture level. So that deep conditioning under the dryer, and you sit under the dryer with your conditioner because it draws it in, the heat draws it in as close as possible to that cortex, or for sure around the cuticle layer. So those things are very, very important, and I want to really say that to you. Let's see. When and if you decided to wear your hair chemically relaxed, a hair analysis must be done. As I said, you need to find someone who's experienced with relaxing hair, and you want to know. I know everyone says, oh, everyone's experienced. No, not necessarily. They may have some experience, but the problem is they are not. And the problem is they are just not doing all these small things that I mentioned. So you really want someone who's licensed, but you want to actually speak with them, do a consultation just to make sure. Make sure you never allow your hair to be relaxed right after you've had a color. You need to have what we call a relaxer color rotation. The relaxer itself is going to go into your cortex and reconstruct, break down the bonds, and it should be rinsed clean. A color is going into the cortex and remove color pigments. So your relaxer is going in deeper. And so if you color treat the hair and then relax the hair right behind it, then you're going to have to go past that color, and it's going to cause a lot of damage. But if you relax the hair first and then allow your hair, you allow at least two sessions. Now that's if you're in a healthy state. 2 sessions of deep conditioning, then you should be able to color. If you color first, then you need to see a clear line of demarcation where that color has grown out, and you only relax on that line. Let's see. Never allow anyone to leave chemical on your hair left and just go away. I've had patients that say, well, she put a chemical on and she went and styled somebody's hair. No. They should always stay with the chemical and work through it and then rinse it off. They should never let it sit. Never allow anyone to put you on a dryer with the chemical. Some people say, oh, that speeds it up and makes it straighter. That is going to overprocess your hair, and it could cause severe scalp burns, 2nd and 3rd degree scalp burns, which means you will lose your hair. A retouch is applied only to the new growth. We got to pay close attention to all of these things. So it's really, 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 really important. And really, guys, we love to talk, and we love our hairstylists. We do, we do, we do. But never engage in heavy conversation while you're relaxing. Because I've had people say, relaxing and rinse, they turn around, yeah, girl, and you know, and yeah. And then a stylist will come around and say, and yeah, this is what happened. Now, you got relaxer here. Don't do that. Just close your eyes. Say, you know what, I'm going to let you relax, but I want to rest. And you close your eyes, and you sit back. I'm just going to kind of relax because I've had a really long day. Or it's been a really rough morning, or whatever. Or, you know what, I just feel like I need to just kind of be quiet right now. You never have to tell her anything else. And that way she'll just work. Okay? Or he. So it's really important to think about that. Pay attention to where they're putting that chemical while you're closing your eyes and relaxing. They don't know. They just know you're sitting there. And pay attention when they're rinsing you to make sure that the pattern has been met. They rinse the neck. Make sure they rinse the right and left. They rinse the upper and the lower. They rinse the hairline. Make sure. So you need that. Never be passive. If your scalp does not feel thoroughly rinsed, then you need to say it. Some areas of the neck after a chemical is rinsed from your hair. We need to make sure, and I can't say this enough, we need to make sure the neck strip or the towel has been removed, that everything's been sanitized, and everything is done at that point. And going right on to the shampoo after that. Next week, we're going to talk about chemical damages and preventing them. And I know my earth mamas, my lovely, sweet, natural hair beauties, we want to talk about natural hair. And I want to talk about natural hair. But you know what? I'm a professional, and God put me here for everyone when it comes to helping with hair. And people who have chosen to relax their hair are not the bad guys. They're okay. So let's go through this and let's educate. And it'll really help you, because I can tell you right away, most of the patients that I treat are running away from relaxers, the ones who are transitioning. Now, not everybody, so don't get mad at me, but most of them are running from relaxers. They don't know where they're going. They don't even know why they had such a horrible experience with relaxers. And so this is going to help you to understand. So you should be happy I'm doing this, even if you're not interested in relaxers. Okay, and y'all have been really sweet about it, because you haven't said anything bad about me doing this. But call your friends who are wearing relaxers and let them know I'm doing this. But anyways, I'm going to see you guys next week. To God be the glory in Jesus. You know who I serve. I love you, love you, love you with all my heart. And I will see you guys next week right here on Ask the Hair Doctor. I'm Lisa Ackberry, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.